Hey everybody, it's your pal Mike Shea from SlyFlourish.com and Twitter.com/SlyFlourish. And I am here with Enrique Bertran, the NewbieDM, and we're here to play some D&D. Enrique, say hello.
Hi everybody. Hi Mike. Early morning D&D
Early
to
Friday
start
morning. Got to
to
set your
start
alarm.
the start the year off right.
Yeah, right. This is my first D&D game of 2020.
Mine
First
too.
D&D game of the decade.
Oh
So
wow.
I hope I don't screw it up.
With me.
With you. I'd rather with no one else.
Oh, well, thanks.
Uh, can you give us a summary of what has happened in our campaign here today?
Absolutely. So, Barundar the fighter, a brave dwarf, and his companion Beng, a halfling healer, have been traveling the lands here in the Sword Coast of Faerun. Rumors of a white dragon in the area, and they've been investigating. And along the way, they've gotten into some misadventures. They've fought orcs, and they've explored ancient ruins and temples, and gotten themselves into a bit of trouble in the Phandalin region
Yep.
of the Sword Coast. So we're making Phandalin our base. We find some work there in town, some local trouble type work, and we go deal with it. Along the way, we've Barunda has seen visions of this dragon, sort of um, being in the area, and he's had to. He actually had an out of body experience where he saw this dragon face to face. So Barundar feels that him and this dragon are eventually gonna meet,
Gonna face off.
are gonna face off. Yeah,
And
and Bang's there to sort of keep Barundar straight.
keep
So
yeah keep just help him out a little bit.
help him out a
Give him a little bit of advice. Not that he
bit. Yeah,
needs it.
right.
Can you talk about what happened in the last session with the dragon barrow?
So we went into yeah. So we found some towers. Was it towers coming out of the ground or
Yeah, like large spires.
yeah, so these spires coming out of the ground, and it was a dungeon that was laid out like a dragon, right, underground. Is that is that
Yep.
is that right?
Yeah. So it was a bunch of hills shaped
Yeah,
like a dragon.
yeah. So it was shaped like a
Yeah.
dragon, and then inside the dragon, the dungeon was actually inside the dungeon. It was actually laid out like the wingspan of a dragon.
Right.
And we went in there, and if I remember correctly, we came face to face with a dragon,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So a bunch of wisps, which were pains in the asses,
Yeah, the will-o-wisps,
and
and they
then
led us to a dragon, and then there was a weapon there that I picked up,
there
and
was
I tried to fight the dragon, and unfortunately I chose to ran because I was not going to beat the dragon.
right.
What kind of a dragon was that?
It was like a bone dragon. It was
So
sort of
a bone dragon,
an animated bone dragon. Yeah.
right?
Not a fully sentient thing. Almost like a trap. And
Yes.
the axe, as you stood out there, you heard a dwarven female voice that said, "Well, this is unexpected." That kind of flooded into your head. You look over, and Bing clearly
Yeah,
did
and
not hear
she
it.
wasn't too happy about me running away.
Well, she's yeah. I'm like, hmm.
Maybe
Um,
you're not the hero I
right.
thought you were.
So we begin today's adventure with you sitting on a hill at the outskirts of the barrow, and you see dust. The barrow has collapsed, and you see dust kind of and clouds of dirt sort of flowing in the air from where the barrow had collapsed after the bone dragon had broken support beams and support columns trying to reach you as you climbed out of the barrow. There's now almost a crater sitting in front of you, and you and Bing are kind of sitting in there, and Bing is like, "Well, would you look at that?" And he looks at that. He looks at the crater, and he looks up at you, and he looks up at the crater.
I'm looking at it, Bing. Same
Quite a
critter you're looking at.
quite a scene, sir. Quite a situation,
Bing,
sir.
that dragon stood no chance against my axe.
Certainly not. I mean, honestly, if you look at that, I consider that nothing but a pure success. Collapsing the barrow atop the dragon was certainly a powerful and strategic move.
Bing,
Sir,
as powerful and strategic as it was, I think we should head back to town and perhaps rest our wounds a bit.
that sounds like a wise idea, sir. Um, As you stare at the hill, as you kind of get ready, you realize that like the experiences that you've had recently sort of have fueled your own power. You and Bing have reached 5th level.
Oh,
You
Bang, I feel a
feel
little stronger this morning.
I do too, sir. In fact, I feel like my god has given me greater power than normal. He can now cast spells upon you of 2nd level, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, he can. So he gains the aid spell.
Yeah, that's a good
And
one.
he gains 2 second level spell slots.
Very good. All right, and you can cast your 1st level spells at 2nd level spells.
Yes.
So you kind of pick up and cinch your packs when a great wind kind of roars around. The dust begins to swirl around, almost like a vortex around you, and it sort of clouds your vision for a moment. Like the barrow and the forest around you disappears, and you hear a great thud, a huge single boom that occurs. And as the dust settles down in the center of the barrow, standing upon one of the ruined hills, is a large white dragon.
How far away?
It is about 60 feet away, and
Bang.
it stares down at the crater, and it kind of raises its eyes and it scans around. Are you and Bing going to attempt to hide from it, or are you going to stand proud?
I'm going to stand proud.
And neither each of you may choose to do so separately. If what does Bing do? Does Bing hide, or does Bing
So Bing is
stand
going to
behind
try to scuttle behind a tree somewhere.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and roll a stealth check for me?
So Bing will roll a 17 plus 1, 18.
Very good.
But Barundar
He stands proud.
tells Bing, let me do the talking.
Bing does not even make a little squeaking sound.
Yeah, Bing just nods.
Bing does not give his
Bing just
customary,
nods nervously.
sir. He just stays behind his tree.
And Bing will take 2 steps forward.
Barandar?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Barundar will take
Yeah.
2 steps forward.
Right.
And I'm grasping the hilt of my Dragon Slayer axe. And I sort of put it on the ground.
Right. Give me a second here. Uh-oh. So you see the white dragon kind of rises up and it peers around. And its eyes fall on you, and then it turns slightly, and its long serpentine head moves, and it clearly a piece of Bing's robe, like his belt, sort of blows out, and it clearly sees Bing as well.
Oh.
So anyway, continue.
So I put my axe down, and I say, today will not be the day, but the day approaches.
It stops for a minute, and it looks over, and its large, glowing blue eyes narrow. It says, "Who the hell are you?"
I turn back to Bing and I say, that was right, Bing? Today will not be the day. I am Barundar, son of Dorn.
Barundar, son of Dorn.
Defender of these lands.
And you came to this barrow. Why? My greatest enemy lies in this barrow.
He has been destroyed.
He? It is a she.
Oh, he means the dwarf.
Who did you think I meant? That dwarf slew my mother.
Well, she's dead now.
Indeed. Slain, and its eyes narrow again, by that axe. Can I have an insight check from both you, an intelligence insight check from both you and Bing, as Bing kind of peers around the tree?
So Bing gives you a 5.
All right, Bing is tears are just kind of rolling from.
Bing's busy wiping his pee off his leg.
Right.
and Barundar gives you I have a plus. You said insight?
Yes, an intelligence insight check.
Intelligence insight.
I'm pretty sure insight is insight wisdom or intelligence?
No, it's wisdom.
Ah,
It's
never
wisdom.
mind. Sorry. Give me a wisdom insight check. I always get
And
those mixed up.
Barundar gives you a 16.
All right. So Barundar, you're looking at this dragon, and it's big, and it's it certainly is strutting itself as you would imagine a dragon would. But when its eyes fall on the axe, you definitely note an element of fear that comes from it as it looks at the axe and then looks back at you.
Got it.
Give me one reason why I shouldn't cut you down right now.
I don't say anything. I just lift my axe and I hold it.
All right, kind of over one shoulder.
Yeah.
So it takes 3 or 4 menacing steps forward. Its eyes blazing, and you see this white frost sort of forming around its mouth, and its eyes narrow again. It says, "I will see you soon, Barundar, son of Dorn." And it pushes, and as it does so, huge rivets form in the ground as it launches itself into the air and whirls off to the south, heading back towards the Sword Mountains.
Bing.
Holy cow, sir!
Bing, I think I need to change my pants.
I'm way ahead of you, sir.
Let's go to town and clean up.
That sounds excellent, sir. It is a 2-day journey along the Tribor Trail. You follow the Tribor Trail. Yeah, you actually hit the high road, the road that leads between Neverwinter and Waterdeep, until it comes to the Tribor Trail. You then follow the Tribor Trail to the east, and then eventually back to the south as you head back to Phandalin. The total journey is about 2 days. Relatively uneventful. On occasion, you run into fellow travelers who talk about having seen a white dragon flying nearby. There's also the continued rumors of orcs in the area, including strange orcs that seem to be hanging out with boars.
With boars?
Boars, yes. Tusked. The wild tusked pigs, not boring people.
Yeah.
You then arrive at Phandalin, where it is a normal day. There is a small, normally on this actual week, they would be having a large market fair where travelers from all around various towns, including travelers from Neverwinter and from Waterdeep, and even from as far south as Baldur's Gate, come and show off their wares. There's even some merchants who deal with who have strange, interesting garb and artifacts from the deep south. But this time, because of the rumors of the orcs and the dragon, not nearly as many travelers have come to Phandelver or to Phandalin as normally do. But you come into town and look, and you see, I think, did you rip all of the quests off of the...
Not all of them.
Not all of them. So there's a couple that are fluttering there, weather-worn from rain. And yes, and the inn is there. All of the other areas of Phandalin that you are used to are there.
So after I got some clean pants, I'm going to go back to the job board.
Excellent.
Because Bang, I feel like we need to help Phandalin.
Says yes, and there was also that centaur. Perhaps we should talk to him another time too, but I'm sure we will run into him again.
I'm not going to go look for that half man, half horse thing. If he approaches us, great.
He did make you uncomfortable, didn't he?
Yes. He was a rather odd fellow.
Indeed. So you look at the quest board and you have the following 2 quests. Within a mountain 15 miles south of Phandalin stands the ancient dwarven fortress of Axholm, which has been sealed for years. If a dragon attack is imminent, the people of Phandalin might need to evacuate and take refuge in Axholm. To that end, someone needs to open the fortress and make it safe for habitation. Once you accomplish these tasks, return to Town Master Wester collect a reward of 250 gold pieces. And the other piece of fluttering parchment there says the following. The orcs have fallen under the sway of evil spellcasters in Neverwinter Wood and have been sighted in growing numbers near Falcon's hunting lodge. The spellcasters dwell in a ruined manse. Falcon needs someone to make a preemptive strike against it. Destroy the evil of the manse and then expect him to reward you.
Bing,
Sir.
have you ever been to an ancient dwarven ruin?
Well, we did go to that dwarven temple.
I mean before that, Bing.
Oh, before that?
Like a more ancient one.
A more ancient one.
Yes.
No, I've heard rumors of certainly the ancient dwarven fortress of Gauntlgrim up near Neverwinter, but I have not been there myself. I understand dwarves have returned to it.
Well, that's beyond the scope of today, Bing.
Well, sorry, sir. Yes, but
I'm speaking specifically about this one.
What about it, sir? How do I feel about it?
Ugh.
I misunderstood your question, sir. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, I guess you did, Bing. I think I misunderstood myself. Bing, we're gonna go to a dwarven ruin.
Excellent, sir. That sounds like a fine place to go. Do you know why?
Why?
Dragons don't go to dwarven ruins.
They do not.
No. Small cramped spaces don't work well for dragons. I think that is a fine place to go.
Perhaps
we should stay there, sir. Perhaps we should open up a small shop or something.
Well, I don't think we'd have much business, Bing.
That's
probably
true.
Abandoned.
That's true. You know who else has poor business? Dead adventurers. After
Bing,
being
your insights
breathed on by a dragon.
Your insights always surprise me, Bing.
Sorry, sir. I'm a little shaken. after seeing that beast so close. I know we have talked about it, and I know you had seen it before in visions and dreams, but to see it up close like that, I wonder. I fear for our safety, sir.
Bing, did you see the way he looked at my axe?
No, sir. I'm sorry. I didn't.
I saw fear in that dragon's eye.
Did you, sir?
I did.
Okay, sir. I believe you, sir.
Bing,
sir.
Let's head out in the morning.
Excellent, sir. You enjoy a fine. As you go in, the two bards are sitting there, one playing a lute and one singing a song, and their eyes gleam as you enter, and they kind of push their hat out towards you on the ground. Do you throw any coin their way?
Yes, I throw a 2 silver pieces.
Two silver pieces. One of them kind of like looks at the silver pieces, and Bing is like, "Are you sure 2 silver pieces? Do you remember what happened last time with the bards?"
2 more silver pieces.
2 more. So they begin to sing the tales of your conquests, of the time that you faced off against the orcs, who, including one that was upon the privy in the ruined house. And the tale is not too bad. It's mostly good. There's a few times of sliding down the stairs, or the times when you swung your axe and through no fault of your own, a foot slipped and the axe missed its target. Things like that. But mostly everyone's like, "Yeah, it's not bad. That's not bad."
Bing,
sir,
are these bards scrying on us when we're out adventuring?
Says, no, I've been trying to tell them some about our adventures, hoping that might improve our reputation. But I think that they're motivated more by gold than they are by tales of high adventure.
Bing, you need to embellish your stories more.
Trust me, sir, I've been embellishing them quite a bit. I was going to tell them about us facing the dragon and the recovery of an artifact, but I'm afraid of how they'll twist that story.
That's fine,
anyway,
Bing.
Just bards. They're just bards. So as you spend the evening, you are given a fine meal, and you kind of hear the various tales that are going on. If you would roll a d6 for me, see what tales you hear this night.
1.
Once again, the orcs have come down from the mountain to prey on the lowlands. If Neverwinter doesn't send help soon, the orcs will overrun Phandalin and destroy everything we've worked so hard to rebuild. A lot of worry about the orcs. They're talking more about the orcs than they are about the dragons, or the dragon. And you also hear that like they think that somebody is leading those orcs that is not entirely natural. They've seen things, strange bolts of lightning, and strange, roars of unnatural beasts in Neverwinter Wood, along with these orcs.
Bing, I've had a change of plans.
Sir, we're not going to the Dwarven Ruin?
No.
Oh,
Well, we are, but not yet.
No? Okay.
Nope. We're going orc hunting.
Orc hunting. Very good,
Yes.
sir. There is this one, and he pulls up the quest, the piece of parchment.
Yes, that's what I was referring to, Bing.
Yes, the Woodland Mance.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, sir. That is all right. Well, shall we get a nice rest in a good clean bed instead of out in the dirt like we've been these last few days?
First light in the morning, Bing.
Very good,
I'll see
sir.
you downstairs.
Are you planning to take a bath, sir?
Well, yes.
Okay, very good. I will see you in the morning.
Thank you for asking.
Just checking, sir. No particular reason. Just yes, sir. I'll be off, sir.
Good night, Bing.
The next day, you awaken, you come down, and Bing has already been up for some amount of time gathering provisions for your journey. He's also been talking to the bards, and you see him slip a gold coin to the bards. He quickly, oh, sir, kind of packs away, and the bards are like, we were just working on new songs, and they begin the songs. They're clearly writing. Should have something for you by the time you return.
I'm anxiously awaiting your beautiful lyrics.
Indeed, sir. Indeed.
Good day.
You begin your journey to Falcon's Hunting Lodge. Let's see where that is. Falcon's Hunting Lodge is deep in Neverwinter Wood. You make your way north on the Phandalin Road to the Tribor Trail, then take the Tribor Trail to the northeast and underneath Neverwinter Wood, and begin to cut across open ground and then eventually into the woods themselves. It is yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
How much more out of the way would it be if I followed the high road to Neverwinter?
Pretty far out of the way. You'd be heading pretty far to the northwest.
Okay.
And then then going along the river to get into Neverwinter Wood. Certainly, almost directly northeast takes you to Falcon's Lodge. It would probably take you nearly double the amount of time.
I've heard tales of this forest, Bing.
Yes.
Tread carefully.
A lot of dangers in Neverwinter Wood.
Yes.
Luckily, we're not going too far in. We're just, from what I understand, south of the river is not so terribly difficult. But who could say? You make your way, and it's on the third day of travel as you cut through the woods, when probably in mid-morning, you're walking through, and you notice that there are no sounds at all in the woods around you. And as you stand there, like all of the insects and everything have quieted, and Bing is like, "Sir, it's gotten very quiet." "Oh, sir, look." And in a small clearing of the woods, you see standing there is a half-orc dressed in leather robes that are stitched with all sort of sinister-looking glyphs. Its arms are crossed across its chest as it looks upon you, and clearly it already sees you, and it stands there unmoving. What do you do?
He's just looking at me?
Just looking at you. Eyes sort of narrow. "Sir."
Let me do the talking.
"Yes, sir."
I take a few steps forward.
Okay. I have it.
I recognize him as a half-orc, I imagine.
You do. Do you see my picture?
I do. Is this person carrying those weapons in its hands?
You don't see it with arms crossed. It definitely has yes. As it kind of brings its hands down, you see that it has these kind of bone spiked fist things, and you see the like a red lightning bolt painted down the center of its face.
Half-orc.
They stand there looking at you, unresponsive.
Part ways so I can... Never mind. Half-orc, we intend to come through your woods here. We're not looking for trouble with you. Oh,
It kind of stands there and it kneels down, and with one of the spikes upon its hands begins to draw a symbol upon the ground, and
Bang.
it takes out a series of bones and throws the bones out in the circle and begins to look at them.
Bang, very quickly. What do you make of that?
They're casting some sort of spell.
Okay, that initiative. I'm not going to sit around and wait for this.
All right. You grab your axe. It kind of whirls up. Its eyes narrow, and it begins to cast spells as well. Roll for initiative.
So Barundar gets, natural 20.
Whoa, very good.
So 22.
22. And what does Bing get?
Bing gets a 5.
All right, so we have Barundar. Barundar, it is your turn. As you rush, are you rushing in?
Yes, I'm rushing.
So as you are rushing in, you see the half-orc beginning to cast spells.
I am going to attack it. 2 attacks at 5th level.
Excellent.
My first attack, I attack with a +7. I am attacking two-handed.
Yes.
First attack, 17.
Very good. A solid hit against its hide armor.
That is a 1d10 plus 4. 5 points of damage.
All right.
Second attack, 19.
A hit.
Another 5 points of damage.
All right. You slash the orc viciously with your axe twice. It cuts through, and you see it sort of dodges partly, so the cuts drip blood. But it is, unlike the orcs you have attacked, where such attacks have dropped them, this one does not. This one does not drop, and it kind of stops and smiles at you, and raises its hands, and a blast of lightning arcs from its hands right through you. Oh. I need you to make a DC 12 dexterity saving throw.
DC 12 for Barundar. Dexterity saving throw. I have a +2. I rolled a 1.
So it throws it out, and you're kind of standing there expecting it to slash you with those claws, and instead you catch a face full of lightning. Your hair goes ripping back as you are blasted for 28 points of lightning damage.
Oh.
It stands back and begins to cast another spell. It is Bing's turn. You hear Bing cry out when he sees the lightning bolt hit you square in the face.
So Bing is going to cast Shield of Faith.
All right.
Obviously aiming at a Barundar.
Sir, it's dangerous, a spellcaster.
Thank you, Bing.
Yes, sir.
Hadn't noticed.
It is your turn once again.
So I have an extra +2 to my AC now. So I have an AC of 20.
Oh, wow.
Barundar does. Okay.
Excellent.
Barundar is going to take his 2 attacks. So I rolled a 19 and a 12. The 12 would be a 19, and the 19 would be a 26.
Yes, both hit.
Both hit.
2 vicious cuts from your battle axe.
First one does a 13 points of damage.
All right.
Second one does a 10, so 23 points of damage.
Very good. 2 vicious cuts. These solid as it throws the half-orc back, who kind of roars out, and you hear them speaking in Orcish, these dark Orcish words, and the only word that you can... Do you speak Orcish?
No, I speak Orcish.
Ah, all right. So it is calling to the god Talos for favor, and then says something along the lines of like, Talos has called me back to face you another day. And they drop down onto their hands and knees in front of you, and at first you're like, oh, perfect. This is a perfect opportunity for a mortal strike. And then transforms into a boar. right in front of you, a huge boar with like symbols on its thick skin. It then turns. It sort of swipes its head by you, and then turns to run into the woods. Are you going to take an opportunity attack?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It seems that it's more interested in speed than trying to get away cleanly.
Here we go. That's a 17.
17 is a hit.
Nice. 4 plus 2, 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. All right. You slash viciously into it as it whirls and begins to run into the woods. It appears to be quite fast, but you can attempt to give chase if you would like. It is Bing's turn currently. It is now 30 feet away from Berrundar and probably 45 feet away from Bing. I think he could Sacred Flame.
Yeah, I guess he could. What's the range on Sacred Flame?
Like crazy. Certainly within 45 feet. And it's the one that you can cast through a window.
60 feet.
60 feet.
Yeah.
All right.
And hold on, because Bing is now 5th level.
Yes.
So he does 2d8 damage with that.
And it's a dexterity saving throw?
Dexterity saving throw, correct.
And the DC?
So my DC went up, so it's 13.
13. Unfortunately, as in the boar form, it dodges to the side. As radiant energy roars up from the ground. It quickly scurries to one side and begins to roar through the woods. It is Berrundar's turn. The boar is now 30 feet away from you. And
30 feet.
30 feet and moving fast.
30 feet. I move at 25. I don't think I could catch it. No, I'm not going to chase it.
All right. You and Bing stand back as the boar roars off into the woods and disappears through the brush. It has certainly made heavy tracks through the woods if you wanted to follow them, or you can continue your journey onwards towards the Falcon's hunting lodge as you had planned.
Bing, I suspect we'll meet again.
We seem to meet. We have a long list of people we're probably going to meet again, sir. Is that right?
Are you keeping track?
I am. There's the centaur. I have them in reverse order. There's the centaur. There's now this crazy lightning boar orc. Yes.
Bing, while we make
dragon,
our way
of course.
While we make our way to the lodge, let's update that list. Let's give them names so we can keep track of who's who.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mostly, I'm very visual, so I draw pictures, and he shows you in his book, and he has these terrible sketches of each of the monsters that you've faced.
Very good, Bing. You're a fine artist.
Thank you, sir. I'm very proud.
We're gonna keep headed towards the lodge.
Excellent. It is so later that day. You reach the lodge. And you notice that the path that the boar had taken was off to the northeast, where the path you're going towards the lodge heads to the northwest. As you travel that way, Bing tells you about Falcon. He says, I don't know if you know this, but Falcon was once a hunter and adventurer himself, but he is now he runs the lodge for the well-to-do of Neverwinter to come and enjoy sort of rustic life.
Okay.
So I don't know what it is like now, but yeah, it's an interesting place. It is a lodge for well-to-do people to come and pretend to be living off the land, if you will.
You've been here, Bing?
No, I've heard about it. I was talking to those two bards. They told me about it.
They seem to be well traveled.
They are. They're an interesting sort. A thin fog surrounds a fortified compound standing in a clearing on the east side of a narrow river. A 10-foot-high log palisade surrounds the compound, whose main building is a 2-story stone and wood affair with a high-pitched roof, gables, window shutters, and a stone chimney. Attached to the main building is a blocky tower of gray stone, its high roof lined with battlements. Other structures include a 2-story stable house and a gatehouse whose flat roof is enclosed by iron railings. A stone bridge spans the river, ending before an oaken door set into the gatehouse's outer wall. Mounted next to the door is a bell with a short rope hanging from its clapper. So you are coming in from the western path there, heading across that bridge.
All right, so I cross the bridge, and that gate takes me into a courtyard of sorts.
Yeah, so you go to the bridge.
building?
Yeah, you go to the bridge. There's that front palisade, and the door is currently closed. And there is a bell, with a rope hanging from it.
Bing,
Sir.
the bell.
He's yes, sir. He walks up. He kind of takes a quick glance around just to see if there's any weird, anything off. And he grabs the bell and he shakes it.
Does he reach?
What's that? Yes, he can reach it. It's a little bit over his head, but it's mid height for anyone else. And he bangs the bell back and forth, and the door opens, and you see older man with kind of a balding head, hair sort of sticking out from the back of his head, dressed in a leather tunic, who answers the door. He opens the door and goes, May I help you, fine sirs?
Are you Falcon?
No, my name is Corwin. I serve Falcon.
Good day, Corwin.
Good day to you.
I am Barundar, son of Dorn. This is my companion Bing.
Excellent. And from where do you hail?
Phandalin.
Phandalin. Oh, yes. The small town to the south. Yes, I've heard of it.
It's small, quaint, but full of heart.
Yes, sir. That's certainly how I would think of it. That's certainly how I've heard of it. And what may we do for you today?
So I read the job card again.
Oh, yes. You hear about the orcs.
And I kind of flick it.
Yes.
We're here to solve your problems.
Really? And he kind of looks at you, and he looks back, and you see his eyes kind of hit your armor, right? That's kind of underneath your cloak, and he sees the shine of your mithril armor, right? And then he kind of nods. He goes, "Yes, please come right in. I would be happy to introduce you to my employer." He brings you in, and inside you kind of travel through the courtyard, and this is a nice place he has, right? A big open courtyard. It's a very sort of well-to-do hunting lodge. And he brings you into the central manor and brings you into a trophy room where you see all manner of trophies hanging upon the wall. Let's see.
Any boars?
You do not see any boars. You do see like a manticore head is in there. You see...
Is it the manticore we faced?
You don't think it's the manticore you faced. It actually looks slightly smaller than that. It looks like an adolescent manticore.
Oh, so I tell
Corwin?
this guy.
Yeah.
Corwin. Oh, so he faced a manticore too.
Oh, yes. Yes, he did. In his youth, he faced many such monsters, and from occasion, nobility will come from Neverwinter, and they will go and search for such beasts. Out here in the woods, there are many unnatural beasts to hunt. Right here is what they refer to as a carrion crawler, and you look, and it's like this large insectoid head with like drooping mandibles hanging from one.
Bing,
sir.
What else have we faced? We
boy.
faced a manticore.
We faced were-rats, but
I see no bone dragon trophy.
Oh no! I mean, bone dragons. Who would have something like that? Like, let's be reasonable.
Right.
And Bing again gives you a knowing look. He's, all we'd have to do is go dig in that mound for a few days, and we might have a dragon skull.
We can have one made out of plaster, Bing. We did face it.
The door opens up, and Falcon the Hunter comes in, and you see like a big scar over his right eye, and fur-lined cloak, and he comes and goes, "So you're here to solve our orc problem, is that right?"
Bing, I'll talk to Hugh Jackman here. Let me do the talking.
Yes, sir, because I thought you were Hugh Jackman. Oh no.
Good day, Falcon.
Yes.
Is that what you go by as,
Falcon? I do. I am known. I like to. He's a big guy too. He's 6'6", black hair, broad shoulders, cold blue eyes.
Sorry, so I'm looking up at him.
Yeah. He's like, yes, yes. Well, with the clientele that I deal with, they often like a little bit of drama in their name. So Falcon the Hunter certainly works better than Gustav Stellern.
Very well. I'm Barundar the Dragon Slayer.
Bar- Barundar the Dragon Slayer.
Yes, and I'm here to solve your orc problem.
Hang on one moment here. Let me back up just one step. Dragon Slayer.
Yes.
You actually have slain a dragon.
I'm going to. So I'm thinking ahead.
Excellent. So it's more like Barundar the future Dragon Slayer. Would you say that's slightly more accurate? And you see like the corner of his mouth twitches in amusement a little bit.
Semantics.
I mean, I could be, Falcon Grozd Slayer.
Do you fly?
No, I don't fly.
Well, then your name means nothing
but
now.
I am a hunter. So when I call myself Falcon the Hunter, if I was Hunter the Falcon, you would have an argument.
Do you have talons?
No, I don't have talons.
Well then.
But I'm still a hunter.
I'm here to solve your orc problem.
Yes. Back to business. Well, so there have been a greater, as you may have heard, there is a dragon supposedly in the Sword Mountains to the south.
I have seen it.
You have seen it. Yes, I'm sure you have. And he kind of looks over at Bing. Really?
Yes.
Well, if you could deal with our orc situation before you go off to kill the dragon, that might work better for us.
That's what I'm here to do.
He kind of looks over at Bing and gives him like an eyebrow raise, and Bing just sort of keeps his expression deadpan and looks over at you. Yes, anywho, the orcs, there were a tribe of orcs that lived in the Sword Mountains that have been displaced by this dragon. They have begun to make their way to the north. And while orcs are certainly no trouble for me and my group here, it appears that these orcs are in league with some form of evil half-orc.
I have faced it.
You have?
I almost killed it.
Really? Well then, if you faced it and almost killed it, then this should certainly not be any difficulty for you at all.
The half-orc has magical powers. It can turn itself into a boar.
Really?
Yes.
Ugly. Well then, this should be... certainly you are the right people have come to my door this day. If you accomplish this, if you were able... They have all centered around an old Woodland Mance nearby. It's an old building that has been sort of taken over by these orcs. If you could, it is mostly left into ruin for some time, but if you could clear out these orcs from that manse, I would certainly pay you well. In fact, I just might have an artifact that could help you in your journey.
Very well. Let me consult with my companion. Bing?
Bing says, sounds pretty good to me, sir.
Bing, what the hell's a manse?
He says, I think it's like a building, like a mansion or something like that. It's like a place.
Oh, a place. We're gonna clear out this manse, and soon that artifact will be in my hands. Falcon.
Sounds very good to me. That works well. Come by here again once you have dealt with these orcs, and we will talk, and I will give you your reward.
Very well. Excellent. Is this place is it empty here?
The room you're in, or the place itself?
The place itself.
So there's you've seen a couple of people that seem to be working for him, sort of keeping care of horses in the area. So it looks like a pretty well built hunting lodge, right? It's like a 2-story mansion or 2-story, main 2-story building. Clearly, as you look around, and even his garb, like people don't dress, like hunters don't dress like he dresses. He's dressing for effect, right? And much of the decor of this place is meant to make city dwellers feel like they're really out in the dangerous woods.
As we're walking out, I tell Bing,
Sir.
You can tell a lot about a man by the way he dresses.
Yes, sir. He seems to have quite a bit of theatrics to him, doesn't he? But I don't think that scar over his eye, I don't think that was makeup, sir. I think that looks real.
I never implied it was, Bing.
I'm just noting an observation, sir.
I was actually going to comment that I liked the way he dressed.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, perhaps I'll tell you, those, you know who would like dress like that? Those two bards. Perhaps if we had a little bit more showmanship in our adventures, the tales of our exploits might be further embellished. Our reputation might grow.
Perhaps. Bing, I don't know what a manse looks like, so I'm going to need you to keep your eyes open.
Yes, sir. Falcon gives you a rough sketch on a piece of parchment that shows the way from his lodge over to the manse itself. And you are pretty confident that you will be able to make your way through the woods to find this place. Following a trail through the woods, so you travel out. Corwin kind of gives you a good salute and goes back. And you can I have give me a wisdom perception check from both Barandar and Bing.
Yes. So Bing rolls a 7, and Barundar rolls a 3.
Yes, and neither of you pick up the conversation that Corwin and Falcon have as you make your way out and travel through it. It is probably about a day's journey to the east through Neverwinter Wood as you follow Falcon's map. When you come to what can clearly be described as a manse. Clearly. And as Bing sees it, he goes, "Sir, I think that's a manse."
Bing?
Sir.
That's the biggest manse I've ever seen.
Yes, I think it's kind of like a mansion. It appears quite old, though. Following a trail through the woods, you come to a foggy clearing, in the midst of which stands a crumbling 2-story manse, all but hidden beneath thorny ivy. The large house is set atop a 6-foot-high stone foundation, and the main entrance has a balcony above it. Pumpkins grow wild in patches around the manse, with several wild boars feeding among them. The boars snort with contempt as you draw near.
Do any of the boars look like the one I faced?
So you're looking around and you see among the boars, kind of standing between the normal boars and you, is a wounded boar with markings on its hide. And given the large scars on its side, you believe it to be the same one that you faced in the woods. Are you walking up proud, or are you sneaking up?
No, I really don't want to face 15 wild boars.
So you're going
so I'm gonna,
sneakily?
Yeah, this time Barundar is going to play it a little safer.
Very good. If both Barundar and Bing could roll, I'll tell you what. So as the two of you are traveling together, both of you could roll. It is whichever one of you has the better dexterity stealth check will roll advantage on that. As the two of you work together to hide through the woods.
Barundar has a 14 dexterity, and Bing has a 12, so it's going to be Barundar's check.
All right.
14.
Okay. So it does not appear. Some of the boars appear to snort at you, but the one with the glyphs on its skin does not appear to notice you, as it's sort of licking one of the wounds on its leg and munching on the wild grass of the pumpkins. So they're all around the pumpkin patches. So as you kind of look, you only see a small handful of them in the front, but you see some coming around from the back. So clearly they're all around the manse.
But specifically this guy, I see the road.
This guy is on the north. He's in that second patch, the patch directly to the north.
Okay.
Yeah, just to the northwest of that circular of the circular tunnel. The circular area.
I guess my fear is if I attack this guy, are all these other boars going to jump in the mix?
I don't know.
I wonder if Bing can create some kind of distraction.
It's like, I could try.
Perhaps, Bing, you can... What am I trying to do? Am I trying to go in? I guess I'm trying to go in here.
Have Bing give me a intelligence, religion, or arcana check, whichever one happens to be better.
So he has a good religion.
All right.
22.
He stops. He's like, "Sir, there is some unnatural presence here. Not just the boar that I feel, but there is Somebody is twisting the laws of nature here. There is some kind of ritual. I can feel it. I can feel something quite unnatural happening inside that building.
Okay. I'm going to try to draw out the half-orc.
Gotcha. From that group?
Yeah. So I'm going to shoot him with my crossbow.
Okay.
If I shoot him, I have a hand crossbow.
So are you trying to draw him away? Like, are you trying to draw him off into the woods with it? Or are you trying to draw him out to attack him?
I'm going to try to draw him out to me so we can get into a fight without the other boars sort of... The thing is that I don't think I could survive a fight with this guy, and if 3 or 4 other boars decide to jump in, I don't think I can make it. So I'm trying to face him by myself. Unless we can sneak around him and go in and avoid him altogether.
You can certainly try. So, like, there are boars, and there are boars all around in the pumpkin patches all around it. But that northern one you can avoid. I mean, okay. You see that there are sort of many shuttered windows leading into this place, as well as the large set of double doors to the front.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is Bing is going to cast Aid.
Okay, very good.
And he's going to give us 5 extra hit points each.
Excellent. A good plan. You've had enough, you've certainly had enough time that by the time you reach the Woodland Mance, you are fully rested. You have all your hit points, all your spells.
Okay.
You're totally fresh.
So we're each going to get 5 extra hit points. And we're going to try to sneak into that manse.
Yeah, so there is a main entrance. You can see the following from where you are. Stone steps climb to a portico with a stone balcony overhanging it at a height of 10 feet. Vines wrap around the balcony's support pillars and its crumbling stone railing. The ground floor entrance features a double door with a giant boar's head crudely carved into it. An unmarred double door stands closed on the balcony. So there's 2 sets of double doors, one low, one high, both of them closed, and that's in that front area right where those steps are.
Bang.
Sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Somebody really likes boars.
I know. They have a thing for it, apparently. I mean, if you could turn into one, like if I could turn into a boar, I'd be writing that all over my cloak and stuff.
I guess. You think that half-orc owns this man's?
Have Bing give me another religion check.
No, 6.
Religion. Okay. Yeah. They're not even that well drawn. I can certainly look. I draw one far better, and he draws one, and it is not better.
That's a great rendition of a boar, Bing.
Thank you, sir. I think I might, once we're done with all of this, I might retire and just draw.
I think that's a solid plan, Bing. But for right now, let's keep our eyes open.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go in there.
All right. Are we going in those front doors?
Yes.
All right. Do we want to go in the ones up above or the ones down below?
Down below.
Down below. Excellent. So if I can have another stealth check, again, the 2 of you are aiding each other as you make your way up to that front door.
Bing rolls. Oh, Barundar has a higher. Barundar rolls a 5.
How does Bing roll?
Bing rolls a natural 1.
Oh, boy. So tell me what happens as the 2 of you begin to make your way up to that front door.
So Bing steps on his cloak.
Does he step on Barandar's cloak? Or
he steps on his own.
Excellent.
And he topples over, falls over, and then Barundar trips on Bing.
So the 2 of you kind of fall down at the top.
Yeah, so Barundar doesn't fall, but he catches himself before he falls, but he manages to trip on Bing, and he has to kind of catch himself with his hands. He doesn't.
Right.
He kind of trips over himself, trips over Bing. Doesn't really fall, but he kind of has to find hold on to something so he doesn't just fall on his face.
Right. You hear so there's quite a commotion at the front door. And you hear the sounds of boots heading from a hallway on the other side of the door towards the doors that you're at currently. You can either retreat back into the woods. You can attempt to try to climb up above it to that balcony up above. or any other ideas that you've got.
How many boots do I hear?
It's at least the sound. Well, it's weird. So you hear the sound of one set of boots, but a bunch of weird skittering sounds, like the sounds of somebody scraping on the wood.
No, we're gonna climb.
All right. If you would each give me a strength athletics check as you jump up and grab the upper balcony and then try to pull your way up above.
So Barundar has a +6 on this roll. Damn it. 9.
A 9. So I'll tell you what, if the two of you are working together, you can both roll with advantage.
Yes, we're working together. So let me do my second roll. Natural 1.
Boy. All right.
And Bang, hold on. Bang might be the clutch. Bang has a 0 bonus to strength, so he's just gonna. Oh, Bing rolled a 17.
Wow.
Natural 17.
So Bing kind of, quickly hops up on your shoulders, leaps up and pulls himself up above the balcony. Barundar, however, slips down, like grabs it, and you're hanging from a hanger, like, and you're trying to do a pull-up, and it ain't working. And you drop down just as you hear the front doors beginning to open. You have one more opportunity to try something.
Can I kick the doors to hit whoever's behind that door and climb up and try to climb up again?
Yes. So as the doors are opening, you can sort of use that as a boost. You see Bing is down below holding his arm out to try to grab you, aiding in your check. Give me another another athletics check with advantage.
With advantage. All right. 11 plus 6, 17.
So you grab up and you start to do your pull up again. This time you're getting a good way there. Bing reaches over, grabs your belt, and kind of hoists you up over the side just as the doors burst open. Right underneath you, as you peer down, you see another one of these half-orcs dressed in the glyphed robes, kind of steps out, eyes blazing with like energy. You can see like little bits of lightning arcing in its eyes as it sort of peers around. And then you see these very strange, like tiny walking bushes, like tiny little trees that kind of scurry out almost spider-like. Two of them come out on either side as they come up next to him. He's standing there and he's looking around out into the woods. You see the boar, the wounded boar, comes limping around from the other side and snorts at the half-orc that's standing at the doorway, who grunts something in Orcish and says, "Search the woods," he says in Orcish. And the wounded boar begins to move off into the woods while the two scurrying things move along with him. He kind of continues to stand there at the door, kind of looking out and watching as they head out to the woods.
Bang.
Sir. Shh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Bang.
Yes.
You need to trim your cloak.
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry about that, sir. So up in this area, so you climbed over the railing. So do you see that upper level map?
Yes, I do.
So if you see right next to the circle, that circular room, you're on that balcony just to the southwest of there. And there's a large set of double doors that appears to lead in to the manor itself.
No windows.
There is... So you can see from the railing that there is a window to the north that leads into that circular turret looking thing. You would have to sort of leap off the balcony to be able to reach it and then hope that you could open the window once you're hanging from the tower.
No, we will not be leaping anywhere.
Bing says, "Yes, sir." You feel a sense of relief in Bing's voice.
All right, I'm gonna try to softly and quietly open this door.
All right.
I tell Bang, We have no choice but to fight.
He says, well, we must end them somehow.
Yes.
You open the door. It sort of creaks open, but you do so pretty quietly as you enter what appears to be a large hallway that has a set of double doors leading to the south and a hallway that continues on to the east. There's a central fireplace in this hall that leads up, and you see trophies, actually similar to Falcon's hunting lodge. There's trophies of beasts, only these are heavily rotted, some of which have collapsed to the ground. And you can see into a central courtyard, and inside that courtyard is a large twisted tree, like a viney tree sticking out of the central courtyard from the lower area of the manse. And when Bing sees it, he goes, "That's it. There is nothing natural about that tree."
Can we set it on fire?
Perhaps, but I think if we're going to be successful, we want to set it on fire from below.
I notice a staircase here.
Yes, there is also a staircase. Give me 1 second.
So that is a tree, what I see in the map there. It's not some weird Cthulhu.
It's just a twisted tree.
Okay. Cthulhu tree.
You hear the front doors below you close, and you see that same glyph, the same half-orc wearing the leather robes, comes into that central room, and you see him kneel down in front of the tree, and he holds his hands out, and this hum starts to rise, and you see vines growing off of the tree, and you see these large pods sort of grow from them, and one of them plops to the ground and breaks open, and one of these twisted small viney creatures crawls around and crawls up next to him.
Bang?
Sir.
That tree's alive.
Yes, it's alive and quite unnatural.
They used to say that about me, Bang.
Yes, sir.
Let's investigate.
As you're sitting there, you're like, let's investigate. You feel this flutter, and both of the two of you turn, and you see these things hanging from the ceiling. They look like bats, only they're red. And one of them kind of opens up a wing, and its head comes out, and it has a 6-inch long proboscis.
Sturges?
And it comes, all three of them awaken. One gives a tiny little screech, and they fly in towards you. If we could roll for initiative.
Would I recognize them as Sturges?
You can give me a wisdom check with advantage. But if you have heard of Sturges, you likely think they are, in fact, Sturges.
All right.
3 such things.
I'll give you the wisdom check just for 13, 14.
14. Yeah, you recognize, these are definitely Sturges.
Okay. So initiative. Barundar rolls an 11. Bing rolls a 19.
All right. The Sturges rolled less than both of you, so Bing gets to go first. There are 3 Sturges that are flying down at you. You worry that if they are too loud, they may alert other people here in this manse. What would Bing like to do?
Bing is going to cast Sacred Flame.
All right. It fails miserably. 2d8.
6.
All right. Bing fires up a radiant blast. It surrounds one of the Sturges, who burns to a holy crisp and then falls to the ground dead. It is now Barundar's turn. The Sturges have flown down to roughly your level, so you can easily get up to them in melee.
Good. Can I do one attack on one and the other attack on the other one?
You can, and you can do an attack on one, see how it goes, and then switch your other attack. Yep.
All right, so let's do that. First attack, I roll a 17 plus 7. That's a 24. That should be an easy
solid hit. You describe your killing blow.
I slice the sturge right down the middle.
And it
It
kind of
splits in half.
yeah, and the wings it kind of falls down like those whirly-gig seed pods as it lands on the ground.
And then the other attack. This one I'm going for the head.
All right.
And
It's coming for you, and you could just imagine that proboscis going right up your nostril.
Oh, no, it's not. Oh, 14.
14 is exactly what you need as it comes darting in towards you.
And that is a 9 plus 4, 13.
You cut it. You just the head of it comes right off like a small baseball.
I want to grab it.
And you grab it like before it hits the ground and causes it. You grab it out of the air.
Another trophy thing.
He looks at you as blood pours down your hand from the decapitated sturge. The proboscis sticking out, almost like a dagger. And Bing just gives you this. He gives you the grimace emoji. You know, the not so sure what to do about that.
Here, Bing, put it in your bag.
He with 2 fingers, he plucks it up, and he kind of looks, and he is going to make a sleight of hands check. But he rolls like a 13 as he just drops it outside of the bag, and it plops down to the ground nearby.
Good.
A quick look down in that center area tells you that the half-orc who is conducting the ritual still has not heard any of the commotion going on up above. You so quickly dispatched these sturges that they are still up and running. So you are up in this upper balcony area, and you can see down below is that weird twisted tree, and you see the half-orc. The half-orc is sitting in front of it, hands outstretched. Is it some kind of ritual? Maybe we should attempt to interrupt it, sir.
Bang, why do you always steal my thunder? That's what I was going to say.
I'm sorry, sir.
Bang, I think we should interrupt that ritual, whatever it is.
That's a wise plan, sir.
Can Bang try to listen in on what, I don't know, like maybe...
So you're picking up bits of Orcish, and between you and Bing, he's telling you that it is a magical ritual that's going on. It's some kind of dark druidic ritual tied to the god Talos, and it is causing this, that, you know, the tree, the way it's growing, you think like that tree isn't very old, right? It's actually pretty new, that he's growing it right now. You know, and has been growing at only a short time.
How tall is the tree at this point?
The tree is probably about 15 feet high. The upper parts of the tree are just at the edge of the balcony that you are standing on. You also look down and seeing that the Talos druid is kneeling there. That dropping down on him, if you land it just right, would be a pretty devastating attack.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Bang is going to stay upstairs.
Okay.
And he's going to do his ranged spell attacks from up here, so he's not within melee of this guy.
Very good.
Is there anything he could use for cover up here?
Yes. So there's a balcony. He can hide behind the main banisters and posts of the balcony looking down into the central area. So that should give him some kind of cover.
All right, so I'm giving Bang some, like, ridiculous, like, you know, signals.
Yeah.
Like if I were some kind of tactical...
Right, and he's just looking at you with his, like, eyes crossed, and eventually he just nods.
Yeah, so I'm, like, giving him some, like, you know, instructions that he probably can't decipher.
Right, he's like, yeah, I got you. Play it by ear.
Yeah, and then I'm going to jump up. I'm going to jump down on this thing with my axe.
Give me an athletics check. A high... You need to get a DC 13. On a 13 or higher, you land proudly and get advantage on your attack. Lower than that, and it doesn't quite go like you planned, and you will land prone in front of him.
Okay, so I have a +6 to athletics.
Very good.
Okay, so let's see what we got here. 13 plus 6, 19.
19. You come easily dropping down upon him. You have advantage on your attacks, both of them, as you drop down on him. So I need you to give me a stealth check.
Barundar.
Yeah. And then we're going to roll for initiative.
Okay, so Barundar's stealth check is 17.
All right, so he does not see you.
Okay.
And what is your initiative?
14.
A 14. You beat him in initiative, so you do in fact have surprise.
Nice.
And what does Bing have for initiative?
Bing has a initiative of 11.
Okay, he goes last.
Okay.
So it is Barandar's turn. You drop down. You have surprise. You have advantage on attacks. It's too bad you're not an assassin, but maybe you'll pick it up. And you drop down on him with your magical axe.
So my first attack is, with advantage, a natural 20.
Oh, critical hit.
Let's resolve that first.
Yeah, so that's 2d10 plus 5? 4?
4.
2d10 plus 4.
Come on, baby. 6 points of damage.
Oh. What'd you roll on your 2d10s?
I rolled a 1 on each.
Oh my god. All right. And then so you slam down and you're like aiming right for his head, right? And he kind of whirls around and he manages to get those the spine punch daggers just in the way, and they shatter, but they prevent your decapitation.
Okay, hold on. I have another attack.
Yeah, and then you swing again.
Come on, give me another 20, for the love of God. 18 plus 7, 25 is my high.
Oh, yes.
25.
Solid hit.
That's a solid hit. 1d10 plus 4. 12.
12. Double the amount of your crit.
Yeah.
You slam your axe down on him twice. He is clearly off. He just kind of falls back, and reacting purely, he just shouts a single word, "Wah!" and this blast of thunder goes roaring past you. I need you to make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I have a plus 7. So 16.
You only take 4 points of damage, but behind you, the walls of the manse crack as this blast of thunder echoes off from him.
And I feel Bang's temporary hit points from his spell.
Right. Absorbing the damage.
Yeah.
You also see a pair of these weird twisted creatures, 3 of them in fact, all moving your way. They quick scurry over. He shouts a word to them. They all scurry around you. They all look like this. But they're small, right? These very small things.
What is that?
Some kind of, it looks like an animated tree or something. A 50. What is your current AC?
My current AC is 8. Well, my AC is 18. I don't think Bang did anything to. Bang had casted, but that was earlier.
He hasn't casted on you at this point.
No.
So
18 is my AC.
Gotcha. So they all kind of scurry around you, and they're trying to claw at you with these like sharp, thorny-like hands, but none of them manage to penetrate your armor.
Okay.
It is Bing's turn.
Bang's turn?
Yeah. Does Bing? Who's carrying? Did you get a necklace of fireballs?
Yes, we did.
Is Bing holding it?
Yes, we did. Bang is holding it.
So Bing might want. He like holds it out and kind of shakes it at Barandar. Like, is that a good idea? It's up to you.
Bang is gonna use it.
Really? So you can hit any 2 of the creatures, including the orc and one of the twig. They're we will refer to them as twig blights. You can call them whatever you want. You can hit any 2 and the tree, and not hit Barandar, or you can hit everybody, including Barandar. You could clear the room, but Barandar will eat a fireball.
Barundar looks at Bang and nods. that what's that meme with the guy nodding? Robert Redford nodding.
Right. With the smile, the beard and the smile.
Yeah, so that's what Barundar does.
Bing takes that to me. Go ahead and fireball my position.
Yeah, and Barundar sort of buckles down and gets ready to take a hit.
Braces himself.
Yeah, brace yourself, Barundar.
And you note for a moment a gleam in Bing's eye. Like his eyebrow goes, and he hurls it right at your head. Right? Like if he's going to fireball you, he's going to fireball you. So right. I need you. That was a necklace of fire. It has its own DC. This is going to be a quick fight. It's 15. Holy cow. So I'm not even going to bother with the twig blights because they are certainly dead. And the orc takes the full brunt of it. So Barandar needs to make, and we'll average the damage out. So it'll be 28 points of damage, or 14 for half.
Okay.
The orc takes the full 28 and looks horrifyingly burned. And how does Barandar do in his saving throw?
So it's what is it, a dexterity?
Dexterity, yeah, DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
All right, here we go. Hold on. I have a +2. 15, 16, 17.
Very good. You would take 14 points of fire damage. Of
Beautiful.
the group of 5 of you, you are the only one who saved. It was because you hunkered down. and the ball sort of bounces off the back of your head once before hitting the Talos priest in the face and then exploding. And then as you look up, Bing just gives you a big thumbs up. It's like, yeah!
I nod at him again.
Right, the nod and the smile. It is your turn. The orc is patting himself off as he is burning from this fireball. You also notice the tree in the center of the room is screaming. It is thrashing around, and pods all around it are bursting, and you see the flaming remains of more of those twig blights all falling from it.
Listen, I move my axe. I get my axe a little bit on the fire so the blade gets hot.
Oh!
And I swing it at the half-orc.
You hear this female dwarven roar echoing through your head. She's like, ah, it's hot!
Sorry. Do I have Okay, I have 2 attacks.
Yes.
So my first attack, that's a 9.
A 9 does not hit.
Okay, yeah, well, the dwarf
dodges out of the way.
The dwarven scream distracted me. So I said, let me concentrate here. And I take my second attack.
All right.
19 plus 7, that's a 26. That's a solid hit.
That is a critical hit because you are a champion fighter.
Yep, I am.
Don't roll a pair of 1s.
No. 16.
Describe your killing blow against the Anacorite of Talos.
Oh, I slice him at the waist.
Oh, you just bring the axe, and it sort of cleaves him in half.
Style.
What style?
Darth Maul style.
Darth Maul style. He comes back as a big mechanical spider. So you cleave him in half, and he falls down to the ground, spilling gore out on the ground. As you stand there, your axe in hand, you see the tree swaying back and forth, its greenish exterior turning gray and cracking. This purple ooze is spilling out from these devastating cracks and these pops of these seed pods all over as the whole tree in the manse, in the center of the manse, burns and is destroyed. And standing there, your steaming axe in hand, Bing up above, holding his fingers around another bead on the necklace of fireballs, just in case. It is there where we will end today's adventure.
Beautiful.
Thank you, my friend.
Sounds great. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, I hope you had fun. Next time we will finish out the manse, although you've really covered the heart of it, and continue on the adventures of Barandar and Bing.
Hope people enjoyed it.
Yeah, for those of you who watched on Twitch chat today, thank you very much for coming. For those of you watching on YouTube, always appreciate your views. Please subscribe and please follow and all the things. And we will see you hopefully again. Enrique, next week look good?
I think so.
Next week.
Yep.
Very good. See
all right.
you
Happy New Year's,
again.
everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody.